I'm going to turn now, we're going to go to the West Coast to welcome Christopher Fong. Christopher is an English teacher at Apollo High School in San Jose. He was in our colleague Ian Shapiro's seminar, Politics and Public Policy in the United States. Christopher is a first-time National Fellow and is going to share with us his unit, UBI, Universal Basic Income. Yay! We don't have to work anymore. Christopher, welcome.
Good morning, colleagues. I hope you're all doing very well today. Because I'm sometimes a bit of a rambler, I've actually prepared a short 5-minute video to help limit my time and make sure I don't go over it, and to discuss how I use my Y&I curriculum this year so far.
Good afternoon, Yale colleagues. My name is Christopher, and I'm an English teacher at Apollo High School in San Jose, California. This is my first year being a part of the Y&I program, and I have to say, I had a great time. Today, I'm here to talk about my unit, UBI. Yay! We don't have to work anymore, which is developed in Professor Ian Shapiro's seminar, Politics and Public Policy in the United States. In a nutshell, for those of you who may be unfamiliar, universal basic income is an economic policy where individuals, not households, are given money from the government to help pay for basic necessities such as food, housing, and utilities. Most UBI proposals suggest giving around $1,000 per person per month, for about $12,000 a year. Though UBI payments are not based on a person's ability or willingness to work, programs can take into consideration a person's age and residency requirements. Though not without its critics, small-scale programs around the world have shown that UBI payments, even if they're not substantial, improve the mental well-being of lower-income recipients, empowers traditionally marginalized groups, and has been shown to boost GDP. For a bit of context, in addition to being new to the Y&I program, I'm also a relatively new teacher as well. This past year, I just started my 3rd year of teaching at Apollo High School, which is an alternative high school in the Eastside Union High School District in San Jose. Now, this is important to know because, as a very small school, there are only 2 English teachers on staff, our principal very much desires for our curriculums to be closely aligned. That way, if students have to switch schedules, they can easily transition from one teacher to the other. So, taking my colleague in mind, rather than teaching my UBI curriculum as a standalone unit and dragging him along with me, I instead use my UBI unit as a vehicle to model my final project for Rhetoric of the Op-Ed page, which is an ERWC unit that focuses on the art of persuasion. For my students' final projects, which will be due next week, at the beginning of the grading period, each student picked a topic that they were passionate about. The students are now in the process of researching and creating a 5 to 7 minute presentation, complete with a Google Slides and Works Cited page, where they will attempt to persuade the audience, our class, to their point of view, giving objective background facts, their arguments, and addressing possible counter-arguments. Past and present topics have included abortion, climate change, gun rights, capital punishment, Black Lives Matter, and even a presentation on who is the greatest of all time, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. Personally, as long as students can utilize rhetoric and make academic arguments, they can present on whatever they want. However, during the past 2 years when I taught this unit, I noticed I did not have a model to show my students what a good finished product could look like. As a result, the quality of the work that was turned in varied wildly. To remedy this and to engage in effective modeling, basically, what I did was I took my 20-page Y&I paper, condensed it down to a 3-page script, and then used that script to make a Google Slides presentation similar to what my students will be making. Finally, I recorded my entire presentation through the web-based recording program Screencastify. I had my students watch my Screencastify videos on October 12th to give them an example on how their final projects could look. I had them identify things that my project did well, things that my project could improve upon, and had them share ideas about what they were going to do to make their own presentation stand out. I left my videos up in my Google Classroom so that my students could reference the videos when they were working on their own final projects. The feedback for the videos have been positive so far, but are currently a bit inconclusive. In their reflections, many students noted that the UBI project was helpful in showing them how they could do their own projects. In addition, I also noticed that the argumentative outlines I've received so far seem to be of higher quality than those of years past. However, I've not actually seen any final presentations yet, since they're due next week, so I'm going to reserve final judgment for just a little bit longer. My content objectives for this unit focus primarily on effective rhetorical practices, which were informed by California's Common Core standards. Some of the things my unit focused on included effective rhetorical writing, being cognizant of the audience while researching, writing, or speaking, finding, synthesizing, and utilizing multiple credible sources, and employing effective public speaking practices. In conclusion, I am very thankful for the opportunity this past summer to have participated in the Y&I program. I met a lot of really interesting people, learned a lot about public policy in the United States, and ended up with a nice little unit, which will hopefully serve as a guide for my future students as they work on their rhetorical appeals projects. Thank you all very much for your time.